Okay, naming your book could probably be one of the biggest decisions you make. If you're writing a book to build a business, then you gotta pay attention to this information. So the big question is this: how is a tiny percentage of entrepreneurs blow the pack away? What are they doing that we're not? I asked myself that question for 10 years. I was failing forward and getting sick of it. I wanted to build a coaching business, but couldn't make any headway. So I started studying. I realized that the world's most elite marketers, entrepreneurs, and gurus were all using the same 4-step system. I call it the authority factor. On the show, I'm gonna prove to you that the authority factor worked for them and it'll work for you. My name is Ken Dunn. Let's get started. Hey friends, it's Ken back again, and I'm excited to be here with you guys today. Hey, listen, I wasn't planning on doing a show around this topic, but a bunch of my students in our Writing Madly program, you know, I've helped thousands of people to write books, and just so happens that right now there's a bit of a debate going on inside of one of our Facebook groups, and really what the debate is about is naming a book. We just finished a Writing Madly weekend, our most recent one, and we had 60 people write books in a weekend. And then what happens after the writing weekend is those that are really, really serious, they jump into a program called Publish Like a Pro, where I walk them through how to get their books edited, how to build out all the content, how to make sure that everything is perfect, as good as good can be, with this book before it goes off to a publisher. And then I even help them get traditional publishing deals, or soon enough they'll be using my publishing company, but we'll talk about that another time. What's happening right now, though, it's very interesting. We just did a group training session, and in that training session we started talking about the title of the book. And I got to tell you, friends, that what you call your book is probably one of the biggest decisions that you're going to make about your book. Now, I want to just clarify right up front. I'm talking about a self-help book. I'm talking about a book that you're going to use to teach other people. And as anybody who's listening to my show knows, there is no better tool in the entire coaching space than a book to tell your story for you. But a book in this space has to be written a very specific way. You got to get your own ego out of it. When I teach people how to write books, what I tell them to do is get your own ego out of the way and think about who is your ideal client, who's the one that you want to help the most. Come up with a profile for that person, including what they're going through right now, what their challenges are, what their struggles are. And then the very next thing you do is you say, okay, what's the outcome? What's happily ever after look like? What am I going to help the person with? And that's how you structure your book, with the reader in mind. And then once you get that figured out, then it's just a matter of saying, okay, how do I get them there? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. And those steps, obviously, as you know, become the chapters in the book. Now, look, if you guys are interested in learning more about writing an amazing book, then I'll put the link to our 5-hour book writing workshop in the chat here. Go check that out. This is not about writing a book today. This is a bigger issue. And I hope thousands and thousands of people that are writing these types of books end up finding this show so that they can save themselves the trouble, the mistakes that so many people are making. So here's the debate that's going on in our group right now. And I've seen this half a dozen times in the last week, and that's why I'm doing this show right now. When you get to the point in your coaching career that you want to write a book, it's because a number of things have happened. Number one, you've had hundreds, I would say in a lot of cases, if not thousands of people tell you you should write a book on this subject because you've told this story so many times about what you went through and about what your life was like before and what it's like now, that people have been telling you forever you should write a book. And then finally, somebody convinced you to do it. So now it's like gone from just a passing thought in the back of your mind to like that's all you can think about all the time. But think about how you got to that point. It's because of how it happened to you and people saying you should write a book about that. And I would bet everything I have that there is something in your journey. It's specifically related to the epiphany, to the breakthrough that you had. There was a point in your journey when something happened to you. It changed your course, it fixed the problem, and now it put you on this journey you're on now where you want to help other people. Friends, I got to tell you, it's that thing that could be your worst enemy when it comes to figuring out what the name of your book is. Now, before I get into the actual details of how to come up with a great name, I want you to understand how crucial this is. There are literally over 450,000 books written every single year in the self-help space, meaning there are 450,000 books every year that are written by people like you who want to help people fix a problem, who want to teach other people how to do something. 450,000 of them a year. Now, more importantly than that, friends, is 90% of those books never reach the potential that they were dreamed to be. 90% of those books fail. And if I asked you why, I've asked this question, why do you think that is, thousands of times to authors? And I get the same answers every time I ask that question. People say they didn't know how to market them. They had a bad publisher. They didn't know how to brand them. They didn't know what was next. I have had a whole bunch of people in my life ask me, what does it really take? What does it really take to create a best-selling book? And you know what I've told them, friends? Listen carefully to this. A best-selling book is one where somebody who doesn't know you would recommend the book to somebody who doesn't know you. Listen, there are all kinds of marketing scams out there that you can get involved in if you want to say you're a best-selling author and you want to cheat. Like my favorite scam is publishing your book in some obscure topic on Amazon. It's like writing a leadership book and putting it in the paleo diet category. The reason people actually do this is because there's only 10 or 12 books in the paleo diet category. And so the way you scam yourself to bestseller status is maybe you want to do this. Maybe some of you are scam artists and you actually want to try this, but all you have to do, it's simple. Put your book in a really obscure category, and on the day of your launch, the magic time is 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Drop the price of your book, the Kindle edition of your book, to $0. So it's free. But because you drop it to $0, they still have to do a transaction. They still have to put their credit card in, and it still counts as a purchase in Amazon system. So drop your book to $0 and then go beg all your friends and family, everybody you know, the few followers that you probably have. You don't have a lot of them if you're a cheater like this. So just to put that into perspective. But go beg everybody you know to go buy a free copy of your book at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on whatever your launch day is, and watch what happens. Here's what's going to happen. Because you made it $0, because it's in a stupid category, to become a bestseller on Amazon, all you need is for your book to get into the top 10 in any category for even a split second. So you know what? There are people out there that teach people to do this. There are literally people out there that teach other people to do this. And then you know what they say? Listen, your book is going to automatically go up to #1 because there's only 10 other books in that category and none of them sell really well. But it's probably only going to stay there for a couple minutes. So take a screenshot of it. And now you can call yourself a bestseller. Friends, if anybody has ever told you to do that, don't take advice from them. They're scammers. Not just that. If you've ever paid for a program and that's what they ended up teaching you to do, get a freaking refund because it's not right. It's a scam. You want to really get your book to be a bestseller, then build it the right way. First of all, your content has to be amazing. It has to teach a story. And if you use the Writing Madly system, remember, go into the show's notes and watch that workshop. I teach you exactly how to do it. If you use the Writing Madly system, you're going to be writing a book that is designed to help people. You know what that does? If you put those chapters in the right order, then when somebody starts reading it and they get to the end of chapter 1, subconsciously, they're not going to be able to stop themselves because they know chapter 2 is the next step and they have a desire to fix this problem. That's what happens if you use the system. But hey, this show today is about the title of the book because, friends, the only thing that's more important than what you actually write in the book is the title of the book. And I'll tell you why. If you follow our Writing Madly system and you let me help you publish your book is going to be available in every bookstore in North America, in every online store, and in any physical bookstore you want it to be in. But all that's doing is making your book, is throwing your book into a red ocean. It's putting your book into a category with thousands of other books that are the same way. Picture your book does get into a major bookstore, and it's in the category you designed it to be in. And it's alphabetized by the title, right? So when somebody's in that section and they've got that problem, that's why they're there. They're going to buy a book to fix that problem. They're looking at all the spines of the books, aren't they? All they can see is the spine. And what's the only thing you can see on the spine? It's the title. So if you want your book to stand out, you got to have a title that stands out. Now, this is where the big mistake is made, because everybody thinks... I remember one of my students one time was writing a leadership book. And he was impacted by a book by Brian Tracy called Eat That Frog. And he was so impacted for it. He says that book saved his life. So when he came to writing his own book, he was determined he was going to call his own book Eating That Frog. And what I said to him, I said, look, if that book ends up in the leadership section and they don't know who you are and you're not a brand name, the only thing that can get that person to buy your book is the title. Do you really think they're gonna buy Eating That Frog? Do you really think they're going to understand why you called it that? And do you really think looking at that title is going to solve their problem? See, friends, here's the secret. Here's how you create a really great book title. You want to ask yourself, what's the outcome? And the book title should make a promise. The book title should tell the person exactly what the benefit is for writing the book. I'll give you an example. My book that I'm writing right now, probably by the time you hear this, this book will probably already be out, but it's called Get Paid Helping Others. 4 Steps to a 7-Figure Coaching Business is the subtitle. But just think of that title, Get Paid Helping Others. Is there any doubt in anybody's mind what that book is going to teach? And I'm not saying that's a great title, but I'll give you another one. My business partner, Nick Boothman, he wrote a book that sold over 1 million copies. It's been a best-selling book in 10 different countries. It was on the New York Times bestsellers list for months. The title of the book is How to Make People Like You in 90 Seconds or Less. Is there any doubt in anybody's mind what you're going to learn in that book? I'll give you another example, because they don't have to be like how to do this in this amount of time, but it's gotta tell you what it is. Look at this book. This is a book by one of my favorite coaches, a man I've given hundreds of thousands of dollars to, Russell Brunson. And it's a book that teaches what? It's called Expert Secrets. You get it? Like, it doesn't have to be long, but it's got to give you the answer. It teaches people how to become an expert, how to monetize an expert business. So let's talk about this in detail for a second. Here's my advice to you. You want to create a really amazing title. The very first thing you want to do is decide right up front, what's the category? What's the general area? Decide what that is. One of the students that's actually going through my program right now is writing a book to help women with pregnancy, to not have as much pain in their pregnancy and stuff like that. And so she's going to get lucky today because she's going to get some free advice through this show. But what you want to do is ask yourself, I'm going to share my screen right now. We're on Amazon here. Ask yourself, if somebody doesn't know you and they're looking for a book on that subject and they're going to go to Amazon and look for a book, what are they going to search? That's the very first thing. You're trying to figure out your title. Ask yourself, what are they going to search? And I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be pregnancy, right? So if they're going to search pregnancy, so we go to pregnancy and then we change to the book topic. If they're going to search pregnancy, you better make sure that pregnancy is in your title. You better make sure that pregnancy is in your title. Now, you want a short title in that topic. So let's ask what the journey is. So what this specific coach is doing is she's teaching women how to have a pain-free pregnancy, right? How to have less pain, oh my gosh, think about that. Pain-free pregnancy. So let's go here now and check that out. Pain-free pregnancy. All right, look at this, friends. So there's a book here called Pain-Free Childbirth. And it's #1 in the search results. You get the point? That's a topic, pain-free pregnancy, and pregnancy in general is a topic people are searching for in books. And you can see as I go through all the books, well, I hope, I'm not going to tell this coach that I just figured this out, but you get the point, right? Pain-free pregnancy. I would call that book Pain-Free Pregnancy. And then have a subtitle that says, 6 easy steps to whatever it is. But there is no book called Pain-Free Pregnancy. Is there any doubt in your mind what that book is going to teach? And also, think about this. Let's say it's the pregnant lady's mom that's looking for a gift. You see where I'm getting to with this? So what you want to do, step 1, is figure out in one word, what's that general topic that you're helping with? What's that thing that you're helping people with? Figure out what that is. And then come and do a search on Amazon. And then ask yourself to describe to yourself, what is the thing that you're helping people with in 5 or 6 words or less? How to make more money online, how to, whatever it is. That's your title. Your title is buried in the outcome. Your title for your book is buried in the outcome you want to promise to your students, to your readers. So friends, the moral to this story is don't get stuck in your own ego. Don't get stuck in your own ideas of what you think that book should be about, what you think that title of that book should be. If you're just trying to figure out how to write a book, then for gosh sakes, click on that link in the show's notes and watch that 5-hour book writers. Basically, what I'm teaching everybody to do in that workshop is how to write your entire first draft between 10 and 20,000 words in less than 5 hours. And it's really freaking easy. No writer's block, anything. It's because of the way we teach people to structure the books. You take 20 minutes before you start writing to do a structuring exercise. And it's going to help you to break down your whole book into chapters and the content in each chapter. And then you write for 10 minutes at a time and your book will be done in 5 hours. And that's all. Just click on that note, that link in the notes, and you'll see there. As far as the title of the book goes, that's why we came here today. I hope you've gotten something out of this, but just to review for those that maybe got so excited about just listening to me, you weren't really listening. You want to ask yourself, what's the outcome that you want to help people with, that you're promising? So first, what, in one word, what's the genre, the niche, the general area? So in this case I showed you was pregnancy. And then ask yourself, what is that ideal reader saying in their minds? I wish it wasn't so painful. I wish I could get through this. I wish it didn't hurt so much. I want to enjoy the journey. Oh, these migraines are killing me. And make sure, if you really want your book to reach its full potential, make sure that the title solves the problem. Hey friends, it's Ken. Thanks for being here with me today. Listen, if you enjoyed the show, make sure you follow it. You know what? Like, I'm going to promise to give you amazing content all the time. You just have to hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, put my content in your life, and I guarantee you, you're going to save yourself a lot of time and trouble. Hey, and on that topic, if you're following me, you're a coach, a consultant, you're somebody that wants to build an online business, helping other people accomplish something you've already done. And I want to give you the fast track. I've been studying the art of building an online coaching business for 20 years, and I've invested millions of dollars with some of the biggest coaches in the world. And you know what I found? They were all following the exact same system. It's a framework that I call the authority factor. It's a 4-step system that I want to share with you. And if you follow this system, I can't even begin to tell you what the future has in store for you. But I can promise you this one thing: you're going to get paid helping others. So go to authorityfactor.info. I put the information in the notes below. It's an amazing online live workshop that I'm doing right now, and I'm going to show you exactly how to build a coaching business the fastest way possible, with the most revenue, and avoiding the most mistakes.